Hi, my name is Haley Prescott, and I am coming again to just share something with you that I really think is interesting, is necessary, something good to actually talk about and share. And as you can see by the title of this video, it's called Keeping It Real or Keeping It Real with God. I'm not sure what I'm going to name it yet, but that's what we're going to be talking about today. And as you can see, I didn't wear any makeup today. I wanted to do something a bit different. So just no makeup, no foundation, no blush, no mascara, no nothing. And it's just to give an example of how we're supposed to come before God. So not necessarily not coming before God with makeup on, but just coming bare, raw, no filter, unedited, even though this video will probably be edited, but unedited, unedited, just vulnerable before God. That's what it means to be. Just keep it real. So, first off, my first point is that God is someone you can talk to. No, sometimes when we think of God, or maybe if you've heard about God, sorry, Andy Layton is doing something weird. So, that's just that. But if you've heard about God before, some people may think he's this big, giant, supreme leader that's just ready that as soon as you do something wrong, he's just gonna strike you down and he's just gonna destroy you. And really and truly, while you shouldn't mess with God, that's not him. That's not his character, his nature. God is someone you can talk to. He wants to hear from you and he's someone who listens to you. So we see in 1 John 5:16, it talks about he hears us, that God hears us. And in Psalm 66:17 to 20, it says God listens. Because he's a God that listens. He's a God that actually listens to what you have to say. He's concerned about what you feel, about what you want to say to him, about the things that are bothering you, the things that makes you happy. He's a God that listens and that pays attention. More importantly, he's a God that listens. So God is not selective about what he wants to hear, unlike us, because sometimes we are really selective about what we want to hear, and if it is not comforting to us, it's like I don't want to hear it. Like, I don't want to hear anything. Or even like some things in school is like, okay, I'm gonna listen to this part and not this part. I'm gonna listen to when the teacher is telling us something that has to do with the exam, and all the other parts that's irrelevant. God is not like that. He's not selective with his hearing. He listens to all of us. He can hear all of us. The devil is going to sometimes make you feel that he doesn't hear you, but God hears you and he listens to you. So if you want to talk to him about school, if you want to talk to him about work, about friendships, about family, about love, about sex, about money, about culture, God, he is a God that listens. Okay, so part two, which is keeping it real with God. And that's the part you actually came to hear. So, if you're still here, we're getting into it now. Okay? So, keeping it real with God. I like to use the relationship analogy because it hits home and it kind of clarifies things in our heads, right? And not only that, because it's not about religion, it's about relationship. And you're like, Haley, how do you know that? It's because when all is said and done and God has returned and he's going to judge us, he's not going to say, he's going to say two things. Remember, I shared this in the last video, I think. He's going to say, well done, my faithful servant, or he's going to say, depart from me. And he's going to say, depart from me, I never knew you. Not depart from me because you didn't read your Bible. Not depart from me because you didn't pray. Not depart from me because, you didn't spend enough money. It's depart from me, I never knew you. And, and that is because God, he's a God that wants relationship with you. It's about relationship. He needs to know you. And we are known by God. We're already known by God. And it's all about us now getting to know him. So that's why I like to use the relationship analogy. So getting into that, let's say you are in a relationship with someone. If you're a guy or a girl, you're in a relationship with someone. Would you rather the person, be real and be honest with you about everything? Just honest with you, just raw and honest with you? Or would you prefer somebody who's going to sugarcoat it all the time, or who's going to butter it up, or who's going to tell you part of the truth but not all of the truth? Who's going to look one way but they're not going to tell you how they're actually feeling? And some women do this a lot. Guys do it too. But women, we tend to do this thing where something is bothering us, and the guy, I'm just going to use guy for this example, the guy can tell, he can tell something is bothering us. But we're like, no, I'm fine. No, it's okay, it's fine, it's fine. That's not how we're supposed to be with God. We're definitely not supposed to be like that with him. We're supposed to tell him how we feel. So if it is that you're angry, if you're upset, if you want to talk to him about something that you can't talk to anybody else about, talk to him about your darkest secrets, about the things that people know and some people don't know, the things that are bothering you, the things like your aims, your goals. He's a God that you can talk to. Just be real with him. You can say things like, God, I'm struggling with this. God, I like this, but I know I'm not supposed to. God, I love this. I'm so glad that you allowed me to do this. Just being real with him. God, I'm having this problem in this area. God, I'm successful in this area. So, should I continue to do this? It's like you can talk to him about absolutely anything. God, I want to know you, but I don't know if I actually want to know you. He is a God that you can talk to. You can tell him these things. And it's all about being real with him, about being honest with him. So I guess my next point here is, okay, God already knows everything. So why do I have to tell him? And to that I will say again, it's about relationship. Even though he knows, right? It doesn't mean that you don't have to tell him. It's about relationship. It's the same thing, like even though the guy knows that something is wrong with you, he still wants you to tell him. Even though the lady knows, yeah, something is bothering him, she still wants you to verbalize it and to tell, because that's how you communicate and that's how you build a relationship. And it's about relationship, not religion. And the third point, which is, what is the point of being real with God? So we kind of just discussed, God is a God that listens, so you can talk to him about anything. We discussed that, keep it real with him, keep it raw with him. But what's the point? What's the point of doing all this? My first point is that it builds a relationship. The same relationship we just talked about. It builds a relationship with God. And that's what we're here for. We are here to build this relationship with God. We're here to have, let me use the word have, we're here to have a relationship with God. So that's the first thing. That's why you're real with God. The second thing is that God can then speak to you and give you real solutions. So it's like this. You're not going to go to a therapist and lie and hide up stuff, because then what's the point? You're not going to go to a doctor and then keep things back and only tell the doctor certain things. So you're not going to say, well, so let's say that you have this really, really crazy sickness and you have every symptom you can think about, but you only tell the doctor, oh, I just have like a sore throat. It's like, that's not going to help. That's not going to help at all. God, if you are real with him, God will give you real solutions. So be real so he can give you real solutions. And then my third point is that God does not want perfect. Sometimes we think that, I can't tell God everything because then he's going to view me in this light. God already knows everything about you, what you did, what you didn't do, what you said, what you didn't say. He knows everything already. But he doesn't want a perfect, person. He wants you to be real with him and honest with him, and he can give you the solutions. He can help you, and he's really, really good at taking something that you think is imperfect and just molding it into something amazing. So it's really, really important that you just don't come perfect, come real, come raw. Tell God how you feel. Hey God, I am struggling with this. Hey God, I have a problem with this. God, help me. Spending time, sitting time and saying, God, I don't really feel it reading. I don't really feel it praying. Like, sometimes I tell God that, just that's what he wants, because it's about relationship. I can't stress that enough. Even if I'm a bit repetitive in this video, good, because it is about relationship. And the one example I want to leave you with is David. Now, David was someone who was really, really honest with God. He would tell God, I have this enemy. This enemy is trying to kill me, hurt me. He would say, Lord, help me. Lord, I feel this way. He would literally explain to God how he feels, the things that's going on around him. David was that type of person. And then David was also titled a man after God's own heart. So as you become real with God and be honest with him about everything, you'll be going after his heart. I hope that kind of makes sense. But that's the 3 points I wanted to leave you here with. And I just hope that from today you're honest with God about everything, about anything, about your family, about anything you could possibly think about. If you can talk to another human about it, trust me, you can talk to God about it. If you can talk to yourself about it, you can talk to God about it. And he listens. And he listens. He does listen. So I think that's it. That's all I wanted to share. This is much more shorter than the other video, but I hope it still is very impactful. Bye. Yeah.